How is everyone doing? I am the shortest Viking. Today I'll be giving a tutorial on the Voxel editor. Now, if ever you have any questions about anything, just drag this little Justin character around and drop it on something, and he'll probably give you a good enough answer. Now, the first way to start making a new tile in the Voxel editor is to either click new here or this here. Right now I am going to make a floor tile, hopefully one that looks like wood. These here are your sizes, the height. You can go and change later because the floor is just maybe like one tall. First option is to make it passable or not. This is the floor, so of course it's passable. Now if we click the middle mouse button, we can move the camera up and down. Right click will allow us to change the angle, turn down here to tell us which direction we're facing. Alright, the first thing we're going to have is the attach voxels. It comes in 3 modes, which is box, voxel, and face. With box, you can drag it across to create a box. You can go up the grid. Next is the voxel. It just draws in one face, kind of useful. See how it doesn't go over. You just stop and click again, it would. Now we just undo all this with Control Z. And for the face editor, it'll just increase the face by 1 by whichever face you're attached on. I do most of the work in box. Next, we have the paint. We can come down here and select a tool. It also has the 3 things. So we can come down here and turn half of it into water, just like that. With the face, it only will paint the face you're looking at. See? Very nice. And voxel is just freehand painting. Next we have the delete tool. Erase. I like to use box mainly, but you can take single layers, the whole thing if you want it. And face would just remove 1 in case you want to create a little edge there. Next we have the replace color, which is another fun tool. It has a few uses more than just in this, but what we'll do, just take a color and change that one. Notice it has an all frames. If we were to have animations, we would change that color throughout the entire frame. This replaces this an entire color that you click on. And now say if you had a different color like this, now we can press, well, I don't have enough colors there. Okay, I see my mistake. Now we can press Alt to get the dipper, to get the color we want. Very useful. What I'm going to do is this, and this. Now, if we replace all colors, let's see, we replace this blue. But if we were to be in contiguous, this means bordering or touching each other. We just replace this area. So very nice. Now, if we had multiple frames, I actually clicked delete a frame there. See how I duplicated a frame? Now, change this color. Doesn't affect that. But if we do it to all frames, now we should have a blank square there. Anyways, Very fun stuff. Now we'll go back to the start. All right. Next we have this for moving. I believe it would be easier if I did went back to the shape. Now we can grab it and we can use these. Oh, no, sorry. You can grab it here to move it. This is great for animations. Say you want, say this was water flowing, you can move it down frames and duplicate it. And then just make an animation that goes like that. We can move it to the side. Now all of a sudden, yeah, it's nice, doesn't it? Here we can grab sections and manipulate them with this. This would also allow you to move the whole thing if you weren't selecting it. If we were to just grab this, see how it grabs one layer. Then it all moves respective to the camera angle. Let's say if this was up, if I was to turn my angle, now we're moving this way and that, which is another useful tool for animations. This here is the color dipper, because you don't want to press the Alt key. Then here, well, it's harder to show with it like this. Let's do this. Then see how we can rotate it. And this one, well, this allows us to flip H, which would be well, let's say you had like a bend in a river, and you can flip H, make it bend the other way. And then here is color palettes. Say we don't want to use this, we want to use the, let's say these Dawnbringer 32. What we can do is we can press this and switch all the colors we're using over to an equivalent, or choose to our liking and apply to all frames if we like. Before this, you can come down here and create your own custom palette though. Which I happen to like. Then you just make all your little colors. Then, well, how did I do that? No. But just put the color you want in there. Anyway, some people make just will bring in, import a tile with their color palette on it, and I can make it that way. But we don't want to stick around with just that. Now the other options we have that I haven't covered is transparent colors. Now let's say you wanted to build a window. It would look kind of like that, but you couldn't see through it. But now what we really want to do is we'll add a transparent color And this is our transparency. This is almost no transparency, and this is very transparent. So we'll leave something like that so we can see the color, and we'll add it. Now we need to paint it again though. But then you save it, and then that would be your transparent color. You can have one transparent color per tile to use however you wish. Now the other things we have are the frames. Now that's for making an animation. The options we have are to add a new empty frame. We can duplicate a current frame, which is normally much faster, and just move what you need, and you can delete frames and move them back and forth. Now this is the first frame. Then we add animations, which can make them loop. We can make them ping pong, which goes out and comes back. It'd be like a door opening and closing one and repeating. A loop would be, well, you understand a loop. It goes from the start to the end. Ping pong goes from the start to the end and comes back from the end to the start. Once is a door. Once it just goes through the animation. Once clamp, like is a door. It's a door opening, and then it clamps open, and then it would have to go back and clamp shut. And then this runs the ping pong once, because this is like a loop, but it doesn't start from the end to beginning. It goes from start to end to start. And you just name your frames, play a sound effect, how many frames a second you want. You can edit that later. Very simple. I don't want to go over animations. This is just simple. This is model properties. In case you want to add speed or light. That is all. Now, when you work on this stuff, you create here, you save here, you can save it as a different name here. You got your import, export, then you undo and redo. Now this would turn your grids on and off. This one's the most useful because this is what it will actually look like in game. Because sometimes those little lines can give little shadows that will make it look different. And the other one is this, which is more useful when looking at something like this. It shows us our outline, where the mesh is, where it would hit. And or you could remove space altogether. This would give you a preview of what it would look like if it was saved. Click a save and makes a mesh real quick for each of the frames. If there was a bunch of frames, it would take a little longer. You see, there's our transparent background. This here is for capturing a thumbnail for a specific thing. Go in here. Now we have the noise generator, which let's create a new frame. This is good for making like grass or dirt. And you put it, see this brown color, and you can play with the noise levels and make it generate a new type of texture. See, you could make that on your phone. It would just take a long time and not be as well noisy. Here you can change your background color. Like I have a nice blue, like kind of like the sky, and then that's the surface edge color. And here's your full mode up. Take away some of your options. And I believe that covers everything in the voxel editor. Of course, you can navigate between tiles, objects, and characters, but that's easier than having to make them. The only things I might not covered completely are these, which allow you to fully manipulate that smooths like that because I'm facing down. If I was like this, you would lift it up, move it to side, We can rotate it, I believe, if we were to look at it. Yes, we can rotate things like that. Now that we're like this, we can do that. All sorts of things you can do to it. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope I have explained the basics well enough to get you started. Have a good day.